basketball, there was some recent news that Caitlin Clark was left off the Olympic team roster.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really I didn't look it up a lot, which is because we kind of talked about it a little later today.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple things, and I kind of was telling you this like on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Is she the best player in the WNBA right now? No. There's still Breanna Stewart. There's whatever. There's still Jewel Lloyd.
Yeah.
There's players that are better than her.
Mm-hmm.
Is she probably good enough to be on the Olympic roster? Well, yes, 100%. Does that mean she starts? Does that mean probably not? And that's fine. The thing that I and everyone has been talking about is the WNBA has had more viewership than ever right now. And that is not, I think there is, you can point the finger and say Caitlin Clark is 80% of that. Yeah. That's why. But I think that her being as good as she is also helping the rest of the league. Oh, yeah. There are all the jokes that now they have chartered planes, they have team buses. The sport is growing. Mm-hmm. Caitlin Clark is 100% one of the main reasons for sure. That. Yes, you can say that Reese is a part of that, and Rink is a part of that. And all the other players that were in the draft, they are super
Clark's
talented.
Leading that charge. So yeah, 100%. For sure, they're definitely. I mean, those fans are going to follow, but Clark brought a lot of attention to, basketball last year, and she's doing the same thing now.
And so. They've had like the highest attended, like their opening season or opening day was the highest they've ever had.
I think most games are sold out that she plays in. Or
they had, like I think they said they had more fans at the Storm versus Fever game in Seattle than any of the Kraken games this year. Yeah. They had that's crazy 18,000 people there. Now, obviously, Seattle does have that fan group for the WNBA a lot more than other areas. But still, she is selling out. I don't know what the number is to consider it selling. She is pretty much selling out every stadium that she goes to. So what I was telling people, like my dad or whatever, was just take her to the Olympics to just build the sport. If you look at her and say, Caitlin, I'm your coach. I'm taking you to the Olympics. You might not play a lot, but we want you there for publicity. And you'd be honest with her.
Yeah.
And she might look at you and go, I'm too much of a competitor. I'm not going to do that. And that's totally cool. She has every right to say that. But if she looks at it and goes, I'm in. I'll go do all the interviews. I'll go do all the signings. They will sell out every game. Yeah. It's just like the USA men's team. Every time they play in the Olympics, it's a sellout. Everyone wants to watch them. They are the best players on the planet. So I think it's interesting.
I think about her too. Like flashback, 3-4 months ago, she was the biggest thing in basketball.
Well, she still is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, she still might be in all of basketball.
She's probably, if not the best college basketball player ever, women's basketball player.
Oh, by a mile.
Top 5, without even question. Mm-hmm. So just because she hasn't had the best start to her pro career, it hasn't been bad, but obviously, you know how much hype she has behind her right now?
100%.
So, anyone transitioning from, a college league to a professional league is always going to have a little bit of a, challenging time. So, it's I didn't understand it because even, like you said, there's just so much that can come from it. And if you really want that WNBA to be a bigger league, that's how you're going to do it.
You have to just...
So, I don't know. I thought it was weird.
And I agree, and I get to the point, and I kind of agree with some of the players they do bring to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like Diana Taurasi, love her. She's a legend of basketball. She's probably one of the Mount Rushmores of the WNBA. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need to be there. I don't know how old she is. She just got back from injury. She doesn't need to go. She's so old that I get you have the experience and that type of aspect, but you don't need.
Yeah.
You need to. To me, I looked at it when I was talking with someone about the Women's USA World Cup team, the girls soccer. They brought Rapinoe and Alex Morgan and all these girls who are legends. They won 4 World Cups or whatever. They were so good, whatever. But now you're in this funk of you don't have that middle age. You have old people, and now you have really young people. And now you're like, okay, we have something coming up. We have to bring the young people, and now we're inexperienced and we're losing because you don't have that middle group which is what you have to have But you also don't need a 45-year-old when you have someone in Caitlin Clark's average right now, a WNBA game, the most viewed one. She saw, on average, it was 1.7 million people watching it, and it peaked at 1.96. That's more than some NBA playoff games. That's incredible.
That's crazy.
It's been up 143% since 2023. Every single, even the back-to-back for the opening day was 1.3 for the first one, and then 1.5, I believe, for Caitlin Clark's. They had 700,000 for just the WNBA countdown. People, I don't think, I get it that you can say whatever you want about her, that, is she getting all this extra treatment because of whatever? I don't care. The fact of the matter is, you guys, the WNBA did not have this before.
Yeah.
And again, you can say it's with a couple of the other players in the draft, sure. But Caitlin Clark is the main reason.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
I think she should go just for the publicity. Why not?
For sure.
Thanks for listening to the Kind of Athletic podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials and come back next week for next week's episodes.